right, hi, I'm Nate Shaw. I'm the CEO of PredictEV. PredictEV is a blockchain-powered social network that incentivizes users with its natively issued cryptocurrency to share and curate quality predictive analysis about various types of events. These include sports and esports events, stock investing events, and even political events. Just to kind of give you an example of when you use PredictEV, if you're trying to figure out what stock to buy, for example, instead of going to a site like Seeking Alpha, you can instead come to PredictEV and earn cryptocurrency performing the research that you would have been doing anyway, and also know the track record of the people giving you the advice. If you're trying to figure out what player to start in your fantasy football team one weekend, instead of going to ESPN, you could come to PredictEV. So we created PredictEV to solve a number of problems we see in the markets today. When people are seeking advice online, they oftentimes have no idea who to trust. This is a huge problem if you're going to be putting money on the line based on the advice that you're getting. In addition, this problem is compounded by the fact that people that are true experts in this space oftentimes aren't incentivized to share their knowledge, and may in fact be incentivized to hoard their knowledge in order to be able to maintain an edge over the investing and betting public. We've also seen that in the traditional social networking paradigm, although users are the ones that are creating and curating the content that's driving traffic, centralized providers like Facebook are the ones that are primarily benefiting. With PredictEV, we've created a system that helps to identify content that people want to read, but that it's also objectively useful to them. We're also able to empower our users with better information so that they know who they should be trusting when they're looking for insights about the future of stocks, sports, and politics. We're able to achieve these goals in a way that allows people to earn cryptocurrency in an incredibly fun and sticky way because of the gambling-like elements that we've included in the process. So on PredictEV, people share their insights in a form that we call a prediction post. This contains a user's objectively verifiable predictions, such as the Rockets will win the NBA championship, as well as the user's reasoning supporting why they think that prediction will come true. This reasoning can be presented in whatever format the user wants, whether it be with text, video, or even a link to third-party content. The other users on the network then evaluate the prediction post and upvote the ones that contain predictions they agree with, but that also contain reasoning that they find compelling. A post creator and its upvoters then share in a rewards pool. And the size of this rewards pool is dictated based on who upvotes the post, but then also whether or not the prediction in the post ends up coming true, whether it's accurate. This accuracy element creates multiplier rewards. And the magnitude of this multiplier depends on what the expected likelihood was of that event occurring ahead of time. So in order to be able to figure out that multiplier, we're looking at data on sports books, stock options markets, or even decentralized prediction markets such as Augur or Gnosis. By incentivizing people to publicly share their predictions and track them on our blockchain, we're able to build a reputation layer on our blockchain that the other users on the network can then reference so that they know who they should actually be listening to when they're seeking advice. So our MVP is going to be launching focused on sports predictions. And we're going to be able to participate in affiliate fee programs for sportsbooks and daily fantasy sports sites where we can do so legally. These companies are hungry for new customers, and customer acquisition is the name of the game for them. We're going to be able to earn 35% of first year's net revenue for each person that we refer over. But like many other projects in the crypto space, we're also going to be owning a significant number of tokens for our platform. And while we can't guarantee that these tokens will go up in value over time, our roadmap calls for the token to have different uses. I don't have time to go through all of them right now, but I encourage you to come to our website at predictive.com and check out our white paper, or ask me a question afterward during the Q&A and I can go through those. But the first use case that we'll be launching with is one that's already been proven by the first ever blockchain social network ever launched, called Steam. And this use case essentially is that the more of the token you own, the more influence you have on the network. The more your like is worth when you upvote a post. Steam has been able to achieve upwards of a $2 billion market cap with that use alone. So right now, we filed a patent in December. We have a private testnet running, and we're going to be opening that testnet up to the public in the next week or two. We hope to launch a fully decentralized blockchain prior to the World Cup this summer. Our team has 5 members right now. We have competencies in tech, business, and the law. I was an intellectual property attorney for 5 years prior to forming the PredictEV team, and I have an electrical engineering degree from Rice. Our CTO is a classmate of mine at Rice. He's a full-stack developer, and he also invented the core functionality behind PredictEV. He's working with our first employee, who's a PhD student at UCLA, and they've been building the technology that's going to power the PredictEV blockchain. Our COO is an MBA student at UCLA, and he, getting the time, but he formerly was in a startup called O-Power before he left to come to PredictEV, and he was with them through their IPO and eventual acquisition by Oracle. All right, I'll open it up to Q&A, and love to have the rest of the team come on up.
Nate, can you explain how you play with a platform like Augur? And what have you talked to them? What do they think of this?
We haven't talked to them yet, but once they have a fully functional product up and running, we'd be able to use the odds data from their platform. So right now we're going to be using data with our MVP. We're using data from sports books to figure out what the odds of these events are.
So I've seen something similar in the stock picking arena, where Joe stock picker can prove his ability of this over time, and he gets ranked higher, and people follow him, and there's a model behind it. But it turns out that the top 20 people get all the attention, and the next 980 don't. Do you think that's going to be similar, or do you think it's going to be more spread out with your model?
It's tough to say until we get it out there and see what the users are doing. We do believe, I personally at least believe, that there are super predictors out there. I'm sure that they're going to get a lot of attention, and they'll be able to earn a lot of crypto on our site. But the way we've designed the system is that even the average user is going to be able to earn cryptocurrency over time. So we've got, in addition to the prediction post element that I've been discussing here, we also have what we're calling jackpot rewards. So like every time you get 5 in a row, depending on what the odds were of getting those 5 in a row correct, you can potentially win some amount of cryptocurrency as well. So we're trying to gamify it all along the way so that everybody wants to be involved.
So I'm just extremely curious if there's competition out there. Are there other people that's doing something that's quite similar?
We haven't seen them. I mean, the traditional media companies such as ESPN, CBS Sports, I think would probably be the closest competitors. People right now on social media, they're on Reddit, for example, talking about sports, but it's really an imperfect platform for something like this. When you're talking about the picks that you're making over time, they're not recorded anywhere, so nobody really trusts when somebody says, oh, I got this number right.
There's some recent projects just in the last couple months that have kind of pivoted a little bit. Stocks. I don't know if they're going to open actual betting with their token, but they've been having a similar model to us where the amount of tokens that you hold influences your vote on a particular event. And then there's another project called PredictEV. They're using Ethereum, I think, to track people's records. But we use a really high leverage blockchain technology called graphene. It's a blockchain technology that enables zero fees, instant transactions, scalability, and blockchains like Ethereum just can't compete with that.